Hello and namaste, and this is Neeraj here once again. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I just want to reiterate my previous videos, what I had talked in this previous video, like on 17th August and on the 20th August, I had made two videos about stock markets have reached escape velocity boosted by economic uncertainty, and we reiterate buy on metals, gold, commodity, so I just in today's video also I want to reiterate my buy calls on gold, metals, commodities, agri commodities, and I am adding US dollar also into this. So why US dollar also? So basically, if you must have seen that in last few days time, market was in a swing song, and it was on the weaker side, going down, and with the concerns about that about President Trump's health, the concerns he got infected, and because of that also market was down, and also regarding the next stimulus measures which Congress is trying to get approved for more stimulus. And so in those videos, if you look, I will put those links of those videos also which I had published, that why markets continue to go up, and why I believe that one should buy metals and all these things. That US Fed has told that they will continue to support this stimulus and economic stimulus measures till the time this economic recovery seems to be in jeopardy. So they tell that for a long time also that interest rates can be near to zero, and whatever needs to be done, they will keep on doing. And I think that is what is even market is depending on that particular sentiment, that come whatsoever, but the US Fed and the US government, the Congress will continue to support these stimulus measures, and they will keep on releasing more liquidity and more money into this market. So that is the reason, and mostly this market was boosted by basically this what do you call that, IT technology stocks and the healthcare stocks and the metals. So but in this I want to give you one disclaimer, or one warning, is that my main concern is now this market is based on this too much of expensive and unjustifiable kind of expensive levels of this IT and technology stocks and the healthcare stocks, and which I believe that bubble will burst very soon. And what can be the reason for that bubble burst of this market? Can be this US election. So if you look at this election trend till now, that incumbent president Donald Trump seems to be on a weaker position, and the way things are happening, and the way you look at this, all the poll results from the different states, and whatever the news is coming, and the everyday seems to be little more and more tough or difficult for the incumbent president to keep win this second term. And if that happens, I mean, if in the next month election, in November election, if there is some kind of a upset, and that Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden wins, whatever, even near or anything, you can see a crash happening, and crash happening mainly in the technology, IT, and healthcare stocks. And that is the reason. I mean, the situation has become so much uncertain, and also the virus pandemic is again rising its head into Europe and in UK, and everywhere. If you see that second wave is coming, more and more infections are happening. France government is thinking of some localized lockdown. Again, Spain has already done some kind of a night curfew. UK is thinking of localized lockdown. Here in Russia also, the number of cases are going up, and there has been already this in Moscow, the mayor has already kind of a cut off for the elderly and the senior citizens. Their traveling movement is restricted and cut off, and they are not, they have generally a very social card where they can move freely. Because of that, it's a free travel, that card. So that card has been cancelled, and they have been advised to sit at home and not venture out. And also all the commercial and the offices basically are being told to work only with the less than 30% of the employees in the office present. And rest should be working from home. So that kind of situation is jeopardizing the economic recovery, and that is also the reason that I reiterate my call on, say, that buy gold, metals, commodities, and agro commodities, and those companies you can buy, which deals into this, or which manufacture, or which are into mining into these things, or agro commodities. And I am adding US dollar also into my recommendation to buy, because of this so much of uncertainty regarding this virus, economic recovery from the virus, as well as the US presidential election. Actually, it's mainly because of that. And if any upset kind of things happen in this next month's US presidential election, you can see that whatever happens, so why I am saying I am adding US dollar also into in my recommendation of these assets is that if the US dollar also is a safe haven currency. So if the US dollar, whatever happens, in everything collapses, then US dollar becomes a safe haven bet, and dollar may rise. And if the dollar may rise, then you may see that commodities may decline. So it's a natural hedge. And if the dollar declines, you may see that metals, gold, commodities, agro commodities will rise. So that is the reason in such kind of uncertain times, where the risk has become very, very high because of this continuous rise in the markets. So to hedge this risk and reward policy, it makes sense that you buy US dollar also into my recommendation, that I reiterate, buy on gold, metals, agro commodities, and US dollars, and those companies which are into this particular dealing, or the manufacturing this into this gold or metals or the commodities. So that is the reason, because of this too much of uncertainty. And I would continue to say that stay away from IT and technology and healthcare stocks, however lucrative and however it may continue to rise, because with each rise it becomes more and more riskier, and most riskier stocks. And the day, one day that collapse can happen. Market cannot continue to rise unabatedly. There has to be an end to all the good things, just like there has to be an end to all the bad things also. So the day when the end will come, it will be very ugly, and it will be very ugly for this particularly high expensive valuation stocks like IT, healthcare, and those kind of stocks. And that is the reason I reiterate my buy call on gold, metals, commodities, agro commodities also I am adding. Because of this pandemic, what has happened is the supply disruption has happened, and also the people's more working from home, that that sitting and working from home gets more demand for the food and this snacking and all these things. So that is the reason the agro commodities also. And also because of this natural calamities all these years, there has been a huge flood, then the fire, as you know, in California and in Australia and in Amazon, wildfires have happened, natural calamities, so many of this apart from this pandemic, so much of natural disasters and everything has happened. Extreme climatic conditions have changed, and this has also had a bearing on the agricultural production also. So that is also, and also because of this logistical lockdown and all this restrictions, there has been a supply constraint, and the supply has also suffered, and logistics have suffered. And there is also, because of that also, there has been the supply demand mismatch in the agro commodities also. That is the reason I am also saying that one should buy this agro commodities also, agricultural commodities, and adding USD to risk your hedge. That becomes a safe haven bet. That's it from my side. And before I close you, please, I request you to please subscribe to my channel. And if you, in case of any personalized investment or the business consultancy, I work as a liaison and business consultant also. So you can contact me. All my details are given in the description box down below. And if you like this video, you please put a like and share it with your maximum friends. That's it from my side. Ciao and namaste from Moscow, from 𝗦𝗛𝗔𝗛𝗦𝗧𝗢.